Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do a tutorial on these tags here that I made. Just want to show you guys how I put them together. So let's get started. We are going to start with putting together this one here on the end. It's probably the hardest one to do, so yeah, let's get started. So first of all, you need your materials to put it together. I have a tag here that's 3 by 6.5, or a piece of paper here that I'm going to cut. Now to do your tag toppers, you just cut off the one side, and then to match the other side, you just flip it over, place it on the corner, and cut the other one. And then you have a perfect match on the top. So first of all, what I'm going to do is do the ruffle at the bottom, and I am just using gold tissue paper. And this is the whole width of the tissue paper, and I believe I cut it down to 1.5 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one strip of my glue, and I'm using Fabri-Tac. I'm going to put one strip all the way down, and then I'm going to fold the end of the tissue paper, and I'm just going to do like a ruffle effect. Got a little bit of glue there. A little ruffle effect all the way down to the other end. So you just fold your paper. You can use crepe paper for this. I just don't have any, so I'm going to use my tissue paper because I have a lot of different kinds of tissue paper. So I thought I would use my tissue paper. I've not done anything like this before, and I think it turned out really cute, so yeah, I thought I would try it. Okay, so I'm down at the end, and you can see I have all this extra. I am going to cut a little bit off the edge there because I'm going to fold it back on itself so I don't have the raw edge. So then I'm going to put a little more of my Fabri-Tac, and then I'm just going to like if I can get a hold of it, fold it down to the end there. And then I'm going to flip it over and make sure that I don't have anything hanging off the end back here. If I do, I'm just going to trim that off. So there's that. Now, to make this circle here, again, it's just tissue paper, and it's kind of time consuming and difficult to do. So what I'm going to do is I took a strip of yellow tissue paper, which I think I did an inch. An inch. Again, it is the entire width of the yellow tissue paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a accordion fold all the way down, and as I'm going, I'm kind of going around in a circle. With the folds. And what I did on that one is as I went around, it kind of got hard to do, so I stapled half of it and then finished. So if it ends up doing that again to me, because see what it does is it comes unfolded, and then it's hard to hold on to. So I probably like right here then, because I'm going to hide that. You're not going to see this staple anyways. So I'm just going to put a staple in there to hold that, like that. And then I still have all this just to hold that in place so it won't come out and I can finish going around. So makes it a lot easier to do it that way when you staple it. It took me forever to do that one because it took me a while to figure out that I should staple it. So I'm going to staple it one more time before I finish it off, just to hold those last few there that I did, so I can go around. Just trying to overlap a little bit, because you want it. I don't really like the way that's turning out, so I'm going to overlap all that because I don't like the way that looked there. So I'm just going to overlap that little bit there. Sorry, this is a little time consuming, but I wanted to show you. I didn't want to do this off screen and then not show you how I... Okay, so it's moving around, so I'm going to start back up here, and I'm just going to staple it again to hold it in place where I want it. So there, another staple. And we'll just keep going around. So there we go. That's going to be pretty much the end. So then I'm going to put one more staple in there because it went all the way around. Well, try to get another staple in there. There. So I did that. With this extra, you can just fold it back on itself and you could glue it down a little bit. Kind of hides the staples too a little bit. So here, it's not perfectly round, which kind of gives it a little bit of unique look, I guess. So yeah, so there's that. That's how you do that. Put a little bit of fabric tack on the back where the staples are, and then you're just going to place it down like so. And then you're going to, I'm going to use the word happy. I've got my 1.5 inch brown circle and my butterflies, and I also have a 1 inch vellum circle there. And then I'm going to need a butterfly. So it doesn't look like I have one up here, so I'm going to see if I can find one of the butterflies that I used, which there's a smaller one. have any more pink ones. Unless I use the smaller one. I don't know if I like that one with the yellow there. I'll probably, oh no, here's one. We will use that one and put those back. So yeah. So then, make sure that's sticking down. Going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the circle, on the back of the vellum, and stick them on there like that. Then you're going to take your word, which this is just a word that typed up on my computer and printed out. I'm going to make this into a little banner. So I am cutting this like so. So there you have that. I think I glued that. I think I stapled that on there because you can see the glue. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to de-stress the edges of my word with my brown ink. It's just that's what I use, just brown stamping ink. So yeah, you can see that is what I did. So then I actually used a staple on there. I guess I just don't really pay attention to what I was doing. But since I already glued it, just going to put a little bit of glue on that. And then a little bit of glue on the butterfly here. And stick it down like that. And then you're going to put your little butterflies around like that. So we'll glue those down, and then we'll do the tassel at the top, and this one will be done. Yeah. So we're just going to do a little bit of glue on each one of these butterflies. Like that. Then I have another strip, a smaller strip of the gold tissue paper. We are going to cut it about like so, and then we're just going to cut it in half and stick them together like this, and then we're just going to staple them at the top like a tassel at the top of your tag. So to make it a little bit of a design, we'll do like an X. Woo, sorry, an X at the top. These are a little long, so we're going to trim them. I like them about like that. So yeah, there's that one. Okay, the next one we're going to do is this one here, and it is also 3 inches wide by, well, this one is by 5.5. So again, we're going to cut the corner and then just turn it the opposite way, put it in this corner, and then again trim it off. You have one that looks exactly the same. And then we're going to put a hole in the middle like so. got our ribbon here that we're going to put in there like so, like that, and then you're gonna have your brown. I'm gonna go ahead and make it into, before I do that, I better not do that. So first of all, what I'm gonna do is, this one says love you. I'm gonna de-stress it. So I distressed that. And then we're going to glue this onto this piece of brown paper, but I'm going to use some gold thread. And I'm going to bunch it up again and put it on this brown construction paper. Well, actually, I think it's cardstock, brown cardstock. So I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to take the word and I'm going to then place it on there in the center, but closer to this side over here, because I'm going to turn this into a banner. So hang on, I have to attend to my glue because it's erupting again. Of course. Because I'm trying to do this video. Okay. So yeah, so see, closer to the left side so you can cut that into a banner. So then I am just going to go ahead and cut this into a banner. Okay. Yeah, so then I just set that aside because you'll use that in a little bit. Next thing is we're going to take another strip of your tissue paper, whichever you prefer. You can use any kind of tissue paper or crepe paper. So again, I'm going to do a line of Fabri-Tac all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to fold it on the top there, and we're just going to do accordion fold all the way down. Of course, it would stick in my glue. Okay, this is kind of time consuming too, especially when your glue is drying already and it's sticking. Okay, almost done. So, okay, now the crepe paper doesn't, or there. I didn't want to fold there for a second. Okay, now you're down at the bottom. And you just want to cut off a little bit and leave a little bit so that you can fold it and you don't have a raw edge down there. So there. Perfect. And we're just going to cut this off right here. The tab part. Yeah. So then I'm going to use washi tape, but you can use a piece of paper, ribbon, lace. I'm going to use my washi tape and I'm just going to put it right down in the middle all the way down to the end. I'm just going to fold those two little ends over. And you just want to push it down. And then for your embellishments for that, I'm just going to use this bow that I made. And if you'd like to know how I did the bows, just leave me a comment. I will do a tutorial on how I made the bows. So then you just put a little glue on it, and then you just stick it down. Same with your little embellishment you made. And you just stick it down. How easy was that? Done. Next one. This one here. I have a strip of vellum, which is 3 inches wide, and I can't remember how long it is. It is 8 inches long. So then you're just going to fold it up to make a pocket. And then I'm going to use washi tape on the sides. You could use your sewing machine. You could even use a little bit of glue. You could use double-sided tape. I'm just going to use some washi tape. I'm going to let it hang over just a little bit, just until I get this started here, and I'll cut all the extras off. So then you put your washi tape on, if you're using washi tape, and flip it over and just fold your tape and then cut off these little extra pieces, and there you have your pocket. Now you have to do the same to make it a tag. You have to cut your corners. So I'm going to cut my corner, and then I'm going to match it up on the opposite side. And then trim it off. So then I'm going to use my 5/8 of an inch heart punch to punch out a heart. And then I'm going to use a little bit of glue. And I'm going to glue it down in the center at the top. And I'm going to let that glue dry. And then I have a couple tags here. This one here I purchased at Tuesday Morning in like a whole bin of them. And then this one here was purchased at Target in their dollar bin area. So I'm just going to put that in there like that. And I am going to add, I think I add the yellow. No, I really don't want to do the yellow. We'll just do the black, because there's no yellow in this one. So then I'm just going to put it in there like that. And then I'm just going to staple that down and then trim off the extra. And then slide that in my pocket. So then for my little embellishment, I'm going to use this heart. It was from one of the paper collections that I used, and it was just extra. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and use it. I'm going to put some yellow thread behind it. I just like this technique. This is something new that I've figured out, which is really kind of cool behind some of your little projects. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here, and then I'm just going to lay my string on the glue and then place my heart down. This is probably dry enough to punch a hole in it, so I'm going to use the smaller end on my punch here. So there's that. And then I'm just going to use some of my black white twine and really just cut off a little bit, fold it in half, and I'm going to fold it in half again, and then I'm going to feed it, try and feed all of it through the hole. If not, I'll just, I don't know, it's kind of a small hole. I don't know if I'll be able to get all of it in there, so then you just thread that through like that, and then pull it through like so, and then just trim it for however long you want it. So yeah, there's that one. Simple, easy, quick vellum pocket tag. Cute. This is the last one. This is a shaker tag. So first of all, since we have some little embellishment things that we need to create, I'm going to create those first real quick before I move on. So I have my string already ready here. I'm just going to, I don't want it to be very big, so I'm just going to wrap it around like 6 times. Just enough. And then I'm going to take the end here, and I already have one of these already ready to go. We just are going to feed the thread through the, okay, if I can get a hold of it. There. So then you just go halfway. Actually, I see that that's going to not work, so let me try that again. Actually, that's not going to work because it's like the string is, one more time. We'll leave it right like that. So we can cut that and it'll be okay. So yeah, so then you just put it in the hole there, and then you want to fold it in half just so it's about even. Then you want to take some of your thread. You can use any thread that you want to use, or I'm just going to use some gold thread here. And I'm just going to keep a long tail, and then I'm just going to wrap it around very, very tightly a bunch of times. Okay, so then a bunch of times, then I'm just going to tie them in a knot. So I'm going to cut to make them even, and then I'm just going to tie this in a knot. You want to pull it real tight to make sure your threads are tight. So then I'm going to do another one. And I'm going to do another one. I'm going to pull it real tight without breaking my thread. And then I'm just going to trim this extra thread off like so. And then I'm going to cut all of these like that. And then I'm going to trim it so it's all the same length. Get a hold of it all there. So yeah, like that. So I'm just trimmed off to make them all the same. So there's my little tassel that I'm going to use. So you're going to need a piece of vellum that is 6 by 6, and you're just going to fold it in half, which this is not 6 by 6. This is a smaller piece, but I'm just going to show you here. Then you're going to cut your corners off, and then you're going to stitch around it with your sewing machine. I have already created mine, so I have it here. This one is actually the 6 by 6 piece of paper, and you can tell this one's smaller. So anyway, so then you stitch around all 3 sides and up the tag side here, and leave your extra long pieces of thread. So I don't know if you can see that on the video, but then you're going to get your confetti that you're going to use for the inside, and I already have some here. So I'm going to carefully put it down in there. So if I can get it to stay open. So I have pink and blue and gold and silver. I have little blue flowers, some teal. You can use whatever colors you want. I also have some stars in there and some octagon shaped ones, which are sticking to the bottom of my thing here. So it's a little bit easier if you use a spoon to put it in there. So there, that's good. Just pick up this can. It's not letting me pick it up. There. So then, yeah, you got your confetti in the inside. Now you want to sew that shut. So I will be right back. I'm going to go right over here to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to do a quick sew across to close it up. So yeah, I have to rethread this here for a second. Okay, now we can close it up. So then you just close it up. Keep lots of your thread at the end, because you'll need it. So there we have it, all sewed up. And then I have my extra strands there. So then you're going to take your extra strands and you're going to tie them in a knot to keep them from undoing. So this is the front. So we're going to tie the front ones in a knot. And then you're going to do the same on the back. So there's the front and the back. So yeah, there you go. Now you have a tag shaker with vellum. Now all we have to do is put our embellishments on. So I'm using a small doily, folding it in half, putting it on the side, using a gold small paper clip, and going to connect my tassel to that like so, like that. And I have this mini pocket or mini envelope. If you want to know how I made this, just leave a comment down below and I can do a tutorial on how I created this mini pocket or envelope. So then you just glue it closed on all your score lines, like so. And then I'm going to round my edges on this. I'm going to use my cloud scissors. So I'm using those and I'm just rounding the edges like that. Okay, then I've got two different hearts. I'm going to cut one in half and use the other one as a solid. So I'm going to cut this one in half and then I'm going to glue this half on top of my solid heart. How cute is that? Then I'm going to glue this heart to the top like that. I'm going to glue this mini envelope. Also to it down here like this. And then I have a whole sheet of these tags here, these tickets, and I just cut them out, and I purchased that at Michael's in their single sheet paper. So I just cut one out and I glue them to the back of a index card to give them a little bit of strength and sturdiness, if that's a word. And then I just take my scissors and cut the corners out. So then you have this little ticket. How cute is that? So then I'm just going to slide that right down there in that pocket. And then I've already done the smaller one, the mini heart, with the gold on the one side and this solid on the other. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that, stick it down here at the bottom, and then I'm going to use some of these sticky little rhinestones here that I purchased at Michael's from Recollections. So I'm going to just cut them because they stick together in like a row. And then I'm just going to place 3 or 4 of them around. I think I'm only going to do, oh, it stuck to my thumb. So yeah, like that. So there's your embellishments. And then I have a different variety of ribbons for the top of it. We have this, not sure what you call that. And we have yellow, we have this yellow, we have this white, and this one too. So for the front, I think I'm going to do the yellow and we're just going to staple that to the top there, like that. And then we're going to do the same to the back, but we're going to use the white and the yellow. Oh, I don't know if you guys are able to see that. And then this mint. And I believe all of these were purchased at Michael's in their $1.50 bins. If I can get my stapler in there, I will staple all those to that. And then this string that we had here, I'm going to trim just a little bit down. Okay, and then I'm going to trim the yellow because it was a little long. Yeah, so there's that. So then up here at the top, because you have that staple, I'm just going to take a solid gold mini heart from my washi tape and glue it down at the top to hide my staples. Oops. So yeah, like that. So yeah, there you have it. Your shaker tag with a little mini tassel. So yeah, so there are the 4 different tags. I hope I inspired you to create your own. If you have any comments or questions or want to know how I made some of the things that I didn't show you on here, such as the bow and the envelope, just leave a comment and I'll be more than happy to do a tutorial on those. Thanks again, and bye!